Welcome to your magical moon message. This is the Peace Dealer. I just got off a wonderful 2 hour long consultation with the queen, a transcendent queen level angel. Shout out to Venus Alistar. She even sent me a book on twin flames, which confirmed a lot of my realizations that I have come into. When you want to think of God, you want to think of the almighty power of the universe, who is the masculine expression and twin flame of the goddess, who is the essence of all creation, the supreme ruler and essence of all creation. So you have the universe, which is that eternal physical and non-physical construct, and then you have creation, which is the light life essence. It's a subtle distinction. So when I made that video earlier about saying God is a woman, what I was saying, I was using that title just because I know how controversial it is, but what I was really saying is that God is the twin flame of goddess. Okay, women have masculine counterparts. Men don't have feminine counterparts. Women have male counterparts. This is why women look for men in that sense. It's usually not the other way around. This is why you'll always see women saying like, oh, he's not awake yet, he's not awake yet. Even men who are more intuitive and brought into this, it still kind of plays out in that vein too, where the woman is usually always going to be more aware, and that's because males are a genetic mutation XY chromosome of the XX. This is how it works with God and Goddess too. The reason why I'm mentioning this now is we're in the full moon cycle. After this full moon cycle, we've been in the apocalypse 2020, but now that we're in the closing phase after the fixed passage through Aquarius, and now it's all happening in Pisces. This full moon is literally like the last full moon before everything starts literally happening through Pisces season. Everything is happening in March. Everything is happening now, but like everything is happening in March. And I just kind of want to give you an idea because the lovers, Mars and Venus, are the last two planets to pass Pluto. Once those planets pass Pluto, the doors are shut. It's the end of the fucking world. Like, you're gonna really start to notice it after this full moon cycle. This is the intergalactic full moon cycle that will now enlighten you to your place in this spiritual war, okay? Because you have this physical material universe, but then you have overlapped the spirits and the souls that take place as a part of this. And if you get too caught in the physical, you're not going to, you're involved whether you know it or not, but you're not going to be fully aware of this spiritual dynamic. Shout out to this chapstick I use, this mom chapstick. This is fire. You're not going to be aware to this dynamic that puts you in a position to see how the spiritual essence of things take place. So science lied to you and made you believe that you're a human. You're not a human. You just have a human form. We have physical forms, okay? Everyone has a spirit, though. Everyone has a unique spirit. Fairy spirits, dragon spirits, God, goddess spirits, and those are vague descriptors. It's even more specific about that. Even within like fairy and giant clans, you have like so many different types of spirits. And this is what this awakening has unveiled to you, whether through fantasy, whether through science fiction, which you're realizing isn't fiction. It's actually realer than what we consider real. And if what we consider real is what you smell, taste, hear, then that means reality is based on the brain's functions. And if you know astrology, you know the brain's functions are ruled by your already Mercury. Okay, Gemini and Virgo are your ability to perceive reality through your thoughts and analysis, because Mercury rules your nervous system, and this is the brain in the vat of your conscious skull, or the body of your skull that projects your consciousness, because you're in a simulation. And your higher self is playing you out like a fucking video game, because you're the avatar of your life. And whether you're an extra in someone's movie or you're the main role, this is going to be a full moon that ties everything together, and where you play out in this intergalactic conflict of spirits in a war over your literal soul. You're picking sides, okay? People are picking sides. The dark, evil people are getting their superpowers. The spiritual people, I don't want to say dark versus light, but the evil versus people in truth, we're all getting our abilities. This is the completion of this in a successive cycle of full moon completion, since Aries at Libra, Taurus or Scorpio, Gemini and Sag, going around to Aquarius at Leo. So this is a golden completion of total knowledge that, with the opposition of Saturn, is going to really challenge how courageously You stand firm in what you believe. You are so powerful that these dark forces have tried desperately. I didn't mean to do that. That was purely channeled. To screw with you. I love the spiritual community because I can blame any of my crazy quirks on just channeling, but that was really channeled. Okay, either way, you are being desperately fucked with, but your resilience and belief in yourself has pissed these forces off, especially through other people. And what do I mean by that? You are within a complex, multi-layered genjutsu / illusion that is using the collective to interfere with your connection with higher spiritual forces. It's kind of like the parable in Daniel, okay? Where Daniel was sending prayers up and like Archangel Michael and Gabriel were having to fight the satanic fallen demons and angels, or the fallen angels, because they were hating on the prayer. And this is an analogy. When you pray, your prayers get answered, but you have to stay in spirit because your angels are banging with you. Your spirit guys are banging with you. And in the interference of as above, so below, you have hidden ass frequencies, principalities, powers that get in the way of the message being delivered to you. Just like a seed being planted, but not in a firm foundation, in a rocky soil, or where a bird can come out and you can get a message, but that message doesn't implant. This is how these spiritual dynamics work, where many of you have been, not waiting for results, but coming into connection. You're breaking through that interference. And in this complex illusion, it's hard to pinpoint and blame a specific person because you have a whole bunch of people unconscious to the fact that they're being used in a collective system to screw with you. And a lot of you feel gang-stalked, gaslighted. The purpose of this multi-layered complex genjutsu / illusion, because you're so powerful and no one can force you what to do, if at every level, this is so subtle, guys, if at every level and every aspect of your life, you're dealing with a contrarian influence, to whether through joking or being serious, think good cop, bad cop, if I can get you to doubt yourself, if I can get you to feel weird about being yourself fully, unconsciously, you are going to give away your power. You're not going to feel as confident doing what you do. You're going to be thinking about how people negatively reacted to you here, there, here, and some people positively react to you, but not 100%. They're all a part of it. And a lot of you, especially with Neptunian, Uranian aspects outside of the system, you pick up on it. You just don't know how to put it in words. That's because what you're picking up on is beyond this physical realm that you can make sense with a language system and with a rhetorical, analytical way to express and persuade that limits you. The language that you've been given inherently limits you, even down to how you actually pronounce words. It's not necessarily in a way that fully expresses who you are, and that's for a reason. That's not to say you don't have to keep using the language, obviously, but instead of antagonizing against this, you want to see this as victory. This full moon is harvesting all this total knowledge that you're going to begin to creatively express and transform these social dynamics with how you express this outwards. This is square Uranus, though. You have to bring the cringe. You have to be fucking weird. Because you're being you, which is going to be fucking weird. So it's not like you have to be weird. You just have to be you, which is going to be fucking weird. And you have to champion that. Because you're not here to prove anything to anyone or be cool. You're going to be more in tune than normal of this subtle dynamic that if you look past all the illusion, because some people are getting too caught up in all this little stuff. And if you look past all of that, you'll see it's a collective influence geared towards having you lower your self-esteem and having you doubt yourself. Think about all the eccentricities, people hallucinate their own reality. There's nothing that's truly right or wrong outside of a persuasive argument relative to someone's limited perspective. So no one can really tell you you're delusional when they hallucinate their reality. Everything is just an experience. We all share wisdom. So be careful about that, because you're getting hit subtly so that at every turn, it's so subtle. Someone can compliment you. Someone can actually mean well, and it's still taking away from how much power you have if you look at it for what it is. I'm not saying to be egomaniacal and feel like you're above everybody, but in the affirmation and understanding of who you are, that resistance you're feeling is the dark force invisible to you that can't stop you. But if they can gaslight you and make you feel like, oh, I should doubt myself, that's all they can do. So this is a good thing. This is how powerful you are. You're either going to let them do it or not. And a lot of you are afraid to stand up for yourself. You're afraid about how other people will react and think. We need to tell the same people to suck your dick. Yes, yes, yes. You need to tell them that. Okay? Whether you say it with your mouth or you say it with your body language. Let me tell you something. After this full moon, like, all the pieces are in place, my friends. There's a war going on outside. Literally. You even have America like Biden like, hey, I don't know why you niggas are still in Ukraine. It can go down at any time. Meanwhile, you have people in Ukraine like, I don't know what America is telling y'all. It's not that bad. And Putin is like, look, niggas, this is just not going to work out well for any one of us. You don't want to smoke with me. Let me just do what I'm going to do. I don't know why you doing this propaganda. So like, it's going down, guys. It's been going down, but it's really happening. What side are you on? Like, are you on the side of being authentic and yourself? Fully not holding yourself back. You cannot do anything less than 100% or that's your ass. So really look in the revolution of the individual, the opposing social currents that place these social expectations against you to live in a certain way that you're not is a testing influence just to test how about it you are. And whether you will compromise to people who live a lie or stand in your truth, even if it means being unpopular, even if it means being the villain. Welcome to the revolution. Okay, so this is the golden cycle of complete knowledge where this moon in Leo is going to harvest the cycle that we started 2 weeks ago with the new moon. And you're literally going to know over the next 2 weeks everything. You're going to have a completion of the knowledge you've been coming into, because once we step into Pisces season in a couple days, it's all happening. Years worth of prophecies, centuries worth of prophecies, millennia's worth of, I'm not even gonna say prophecies, like everything that's been converging is already happening, but like the domino triggers now. And all of this is timed once again with the reunion of the lovers. It's significant that Mars and Venus are traveling together past Pluto. Those are gonna be the last two personal planets in the cycle before the gate shuts. And what happens after that? America has its Pluto return. We have the Pisces Jupiter transit, and all things fall apart. Shout out to Chinua Achebe. This is so very important because we're seeing a return of certain cycles repeat itself, epochs, time periods, but in new form. And so this is a battle between God's children and the children of the dark. You have a lot of people weaving this pseudo-intellectual rhetoric that sounds good, but it's just lies. And so let your spirit discern whether it's real or not. There's a lot of people saying half-truths because they cape for evil. So they want to kind of like sugarcoat the darkness. They kind of want to sugarcoat evil. There's nothing wrong with the darkness. They want to sugarcoat evil. Let's just be real. They want to, and that's because most of these people are children of evil themselves. So like, they're not going to be judged in a certain way. They're being who they are. But you have to be very careful not to get distracted, because if you're distracted, even 1% is going to bring you off your path. That's really all I have to say. This full moon cycle is going to be electric. You're going to come into a practical application of utilizing this transcendent knowledge of who you are and your abilities. And the fixed nature of this square is going to bring out the true colors of individuals unexpectedly towards you, not for you to necessarily get perturbed, but for you to clap the shit out them, for you to completely just manifest who you are and be like what you're not gonna do, okay? And you're gonna see people fall back, because anyone who has to use fear, anyone who has to use intimidation tactics, they're evil. Like, it's just so black and white now, okay? If you want to do a litmus test of who is really who, just express who you truly are. When some of you express the truth, you start to see people get silent. They start to get uneasy. Versus when you do that fake shit, they get up again. That should let you know everything you need to know. Don't be fooled, y'all. Because after this full moon cycle, we're stepping into the harvest. We're stepping into Pisces season. This is the intergalactic portal that's going to step us into the promised land. And I know a lot of what I'm saying could sound like jargon to a lot of people, but don't get caught up in people who want to play these games and distract you. Stay focused. Because this full moon is going to establish your intergalactic connects with higher extra dimensional beings interfacing an ability to practically make sense of such supernatural phenomena, some of you for the first time, that you can move forward into this Pisces portal to change everything. It's all happening. Welcome to the real end of the world, and Godspeed, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.